Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo. I see you because... Oh my god. I'm YouTube. Look at this. What is this? I'm YouTube famous now. Available Christmas 2024, the album, Dad, Shimmy Shimmy, AF, the gift that keeps on giving. At first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, that I grew strong, and I learned how to carry on. But now you're back from outer space. Can we just talk about that for a second? Why did they come back from outer space? Was Gloria Gaynor dating an astronaut? I'm so confused. I was getting ready to film this video today before I knew that my fan flipping of the world was going to be such a disaster, which I know some people will comment and be like, that intro with the fan flipping was fantastic. That's where people are like, you scripted it. How do you script that? How do you script getting your finger caught in between the middle of a fan like that? Hi! Anyway, you can't. But I was sitting there, I was like singing a song. Listen, I have it right here on my iTunes. You can see it, Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. And I was listening to it, and I kept on getting to that part where it says, but you came back from outer space. I was like, what? Was she dating an astronaut? Oh my Lord, did they see the eclipse? I'm so confused. I never really thought of that before. I just sang the song, you know. It's like the #1 song for karaoke. How are y'all doing today? Oh my god, I gotta get my lip gloss on. I got my coffee out here, okay. Doing some prayers and meditations. And by prayers and meditations, I mean reading articles about Jojo Siwa, her new album that came out, her new song or whatever it is. I could give a shit. Anyway, I'm so excited to make this video today about whether or not Jojo Siwa stole her song Karma. Oh my Lord, no, how could she possibly have stolen it? Because she invented an entirely new genre of music called gay pop that Tegan and Sarah did about 20 years ago. But anyway, apparently she invented an entirely new genre of music called gay pop. This is when you live in a world of such entitlement and you have yes people surrounding you your entire life, that you live in a bubble that you have absolutely no cultural reference to whatsoever. It's interesting to me that she's coming out and she's referencing all these people, and she references musicians out there, and she talks about people like Lady Gaga, and she talks about people like, I think she mentioned Elton John and stuff, and then I'm like, and girl, you don't know that gay pop has been something that's been around forever. In fact, I think I just sang you one, okay? At first I was afraid, I was petrified. By the way, I Will Survive is probably the best and the biggest karma song in the entire world. You didn't need to write a song and call it karma. That's called shade, girl, okay? See, shade is when you let somebody know, okay? You read them for filth, okay? That's what I learned when I came out, is you read somebody for filth, right? So you don't get in their face and you go, well, I'm going to show you karma and I'm going to sing you a song about karma. No, what you say is you sit over here pretty and you go, at first I was afraid. I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. See? But now I've spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong. That's karma, girl. Okay? It's growing strong. Not telling somebody that you're going to give them karma. Okay? That's like something in 6th grade. You know, it's like when people are like, oh, karma's a bitch. Well, I'm not so sure. I've seen a lot of people that are really, really evil out there that it doesn't seem like any kind of karmic energy comes in. They lie, they cheat, they steal, and yet they continue to just stay at the top of the world. So she's got some good friends like that, you know, and so she should know that karma doesn't really work, you know. So I'm not a big believer in karmic energy. I'm just not, you know. And so anyway, I'm a believer in making your own destiny. And she did do that. She marketed the fuck out of this song, didn't she? But you know, no, in all honesty, like, Jojo Siwa is an adorable young lady, right? And I think she has such a, like, just to take a step on the outside, I think she has such, like, a valuable message that she could send out to the world. If I were somebody that was, people tell me all the time, they're like, you should do PR and marketing for these people. Nobody's asking me, first of all. You think if I didn't get a call from one of these people, now, no, if James Charles or Colleen Ballinger called me up and said, do you want to be my brand ambassador? No, thank you, whatsoever. Because their brand sucks, okay? It stinks, it's horrible. But if any of these people out there, I mean, if Jojo Siwa had called me before all this and said, like, I need somebody to help me with PR, would you be, well, I might have maybe taken her up on that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's worth billions of dollars. I don't know, I'm gonna trade it in some stock for some bows and whatever. But the first thing I would have said to her is you gotta quit protecting predators. That's probably the first thing, okay? Or if you're gonna come out and tell people you're bad, say, yeah, I'm bad, I protect predators. That's probably the first thing she should have done, right? But that would be the first thing that I would say to her as a PR person and this is where it's so interesting that apparently nobody cares anymore, that Jojo Siwa says things like you can take a lie and run with it, and she defends, people that have predatory behavior, and there's evidence to that. Apparently nobody cares about that, right? Like, they just let that go. And today, in 2024, we don't care about that, right? But this is the thing, like, Jojo Siwa is an adorable young lady with a huge platform, okay? And she has a huge platform of young people that are listening to her. They're listening to everything that she says. She's got her, she could have her finger on the pulse of trends that are going on. She could really be defining the next thing, and I think that's why Miley Cyrus is somebody to her that is so idealistic, because she wants to be she said it, and now she's kind of retracting that statement, but she wants to do what Miley Cyrus did, right? Well, you can't reinvent the wheel like Miley Cyrus did. Miley Cyrus is Miley Cyrus because she is so unique and so different and did it her way, right? But the problem is that Jojo Siwa is trying to reinvent other people. She's trying to be this. And when you throw out names like Lady Gaga, like Miley Cyrus, people are going to constantly compare you to those people. If I were somebody that was a PR person working with Jojo Siwa, what I would say is, first of all, have you guys heard when she's in the studio and they're doing like the background vocals and all that kind of stuff? Girl, she can't sing a lick, okay? No offense, okay? I mean, half them RuPaul's Drag Race girls, they can't sing a lick either, and they put out songs. Today, in 2024, you don't have to be a singer to put out tracks. You just don't. I mean, back in the MySpace era, when people were putting out tracks, you didn't have to be a singer either. What you have to be, to some degree, is a performer. But I do think that a lot of people, like, I'm somebody that loves vocal tracks. I'm somebody that loves music. I'm somebody that, like, I'm not so much into a bop as I am to the voice and to the singing and things like that. Some people still do care about things like that. But, I mean, for years and years and years, I've loved Bob Dylan, and people said he couldn't sing to save his life, right? But an amazing lyricist whatsoever. So then it comes down to, are you a performer? Are you a singer? Are you a singer-songwriter? What are you? It's one of the reasons why Taylor Swift is so amazingly famous, right? Is because she's a fantastic performer. She's a fantastic singer. I wouldn't say she's the best singer in the entire world, right? But the one thing about her is that she really is a pretty phenomenal singer. Do I think she's the best singer ever? No. Y'all know I think Whitney Houston's the best singer in the entire world, okay? But, she's no Whitney Houston. But, yes, Taylor Swift is an amazing singer. I love Taylor Swift's music, okay? But the one thing about her is that she's an amazing singer-songwriter. Nobody can deny that her lyrics are, like, incredible. And the lyrics that she writes are about her life. And so when you're listening to a Taylor Swift song, you're listening to Taylor Swift sing a song that she wrote about her life, okay? So then when you have somebody come out like Jojo Siwa that's trying to reinvent herself, and then at the same time she's also saying, I'm going to invent a genre of music that already exists, but she has no education of the LGBTQIA plus history, which she should at her age, for the people that came before her that gave her the life that she had. Jojo Siwa, at 20, almost 21 years old, would not be able to come out publicly and live the life that she has as a out person, as a celebrity, if it weren't for people that came before her, and yet she pays no homage to those people whatsoever. In fact, she disses on them by saying things like, well, I'm going to reinvent a new genre of music that has never existed before called gay pop, when Sylvester was doing that in the 70s, okay? So it's really, to be honest with you, it's a diss to the history that came before her that allowed her to have the platform that she has as a out person, the LGBTQIA plus community today, as a celebrity, right? But then she goes on to say that she is a good, well, to reinvent a genre of music would imply that you are a singer-songwriter, okay? And that you're writing songs, lyrics, music, beats, laying down all the musical beats and all that stuff to the lyrics because you're the one that's inventing this genre, okay? Not coming out and buying somebody's song that came out in 2012 and singing it 12 years later in 2024 and saying that you're reinventing. It's a cover song is what it is. It's a cover song. It's a cover of somebody else's song that they wrote. That's fine. People do that all the time. There's no problem with it, okay? The problem is when you say you're inventing a new genre of music. You mean you're going to be performing to a genre of music that already existed and that you're going to have somebody mix it in a way that sounds like old school disco redone into pop of 2024. Is that what you mean? Because for those of us that have lived around for a while, this ain't new, girl, okay? I know that you like sit around your apartment and come up with ideas that you're gonna get famous and things like that. But I honestly think there was a reinvention that Jojo Siwa could have done that would have been, I think, more true to who she is, and would have been, I think, more and mind-blowing, so to speak, right? I think if she would have come out and said, I'm going to come out with my first album, and what it's going to be is, it's going to be a cover of all of the musical people that came before me that really profoundly affected my journey along the way. And so, yeah, I'm going to pick this song that came out in 2012, and that's the song that I'm going to lead with, this Karma song, because when I heard it, I was like, yes, that's the song that I want to do. But then I'm also going to do Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball, and I'm going to do this. And she did covers of all these songs, right? And came out with an entire cover album and talked about how these are the musicians that really inspired me profoundly on my journey to where I am today to be this out person, right? And then she paid historical relevance to the people that came before her. I think it would have been a really, a moment in time. And instead of wearing these ridiculous costumes and doing Dance Mom's routines on a beach while she's beating up people and then kissing people, making out with people, 1 second on a white party on a yacht, and the next second on a beach in a Fraggle Rock Ice Capades outfit, okay? You know, to slick back her hair, to wear all black, and, you know, not do a bunch of crazy glitter makeup and sequins on her face and whatever, and just be like, this is Jojo. This is who I am. Not Jojo Siwa, just Jojo. This is who I am, you know, and whatever. And I think it could have been a moment in time for her. I think if she wasn't going to do that, if she's going to take it to this ridiculous level, I think to do something and play on the joke of the bows and reinvent the bows would have been a fantastic opportunity for her. I mean, she could have gone overboard with this bows. There are not many celebrities that are known for, like, one thing, right? That they are known for one thing. Jojo Siwa is known for that bow, right? Love it or hate it, she's known for that bow. She now wants to get away from the one thing that is the biggest identifier of her life. If it were me and I was her PR marketing person, I'd say you need to lean into that. No, you don't need to wear that bow in your hair with a side ponytail like you did when you were 12 years old for the rest of your life. Reinvent the bow, okay? Stand there on stage, you know, doing a cover, a very slow acoustic cover to I Will Survive with a black crepe dress made out of the biggest bow in the entire world that covers an entire stage, and it's just you in the video, spotlit with your hair slicked back, and you're singing I Will Survive, and it's storing up pictures of your life in the background, okay? That would have been a reinvention moment. Not all this ridiculousness that you needed to do, okay? And yes, it was a marketing scheme, and the marketing scheme worked fantastically for her because I was looking through things this week and I saw on this article that it said on here, Jojo Siwa's new single hits the Billboard charts and it's not even out yet. Now, before I get to that and her Billboard charts, I do want to say I have to address a very, very serious topic, okay, on this video. And that is that I got a comment the other day when I was talking about Beyoncé, and y'all know I love Miss Beyoncé, okay? But what I said in my video the other day was that the children are writing so hard for this Cowboy Carter album, which to be honest with you, I've listened to the entire thing and I think there's a couple tracks on there that are cute. I don't love the album. It's not my favorite Beyoncé album in the entire world. And that's okay to say. I just want you to know. It's like, I used Stevie Nicks as a comparison the other day in my album. Like, I love Stevie Nicks, but there are some of her songs that next. I mean, there's a lot of her songs that are not my favorite. Just because I love somebody doesn't mean I love every song by them. I think that's actually something that's kind of happened with like the Taylor Swift generation and all that kind of stuff. This new generation is like, if you love somebody, you have to love everything they put out. If they do something, you have to stand behind everything that they do. I don't know why that's this new generation of this super fandom that we're seeing, but that's not the case, okay? You can like somebody and be inspired by somebody and be motivated by their music or their art or whatever they do, and also have a discernible, you know, voice of your own that says, yeah, I love this song, but no, I don't like I don't like what they did over here, or I like this song, but I don't like that song, or this song is really, really good, but the rest of it, it's like people go crazy about that Midnights album. I love that Midnights album by Taylor Swift too. There's some great songs on there. There's some duds on there too, okay? Just so you know. From my perspective, there's some duds on there. And I would say that about any of my favorites. Any of my favorite musicians that I've listened to. Even Whitney Houston has some duds. Did you ever see that movie, The Preacher's Wife? It was not her finest moment, okay? Let's just be for real. Whitney Houston has some duds out there, you know? Let's just call it for what it is. Every artist has some moments that are not their... Listen, Madonna, love her. Don't love Ray Alight, okay? That whole album sucks, I think. So, you know, there's a lot of artists out there that I love and I adore, but I don't love everything that they've done. That's totally fine, right? Like, that's totally fine. And I was talking about Beyoncé the other day, and I was talking about how all the children are going crazy for Cowboy. Oh my God, it's like she's the only person that could ever do anything, you know, new in the entire world. Watch out, Jojo Siwa, okay? And so I was mentioning there that way back in the day on Oprah, she had Destiny's Child. And there was this moment when Destiny's Child is doing this song, Crazy in Love. Remember that song? I love that. Crazy in Love, Crazy in Love. I love that song so much. And then they step forward and they're on these treadmills, right? At the beginning, at the front of the stage, and they're just walking in place like this, okay? It was a moment, like that, probably 10 seconds of Destiny's Child walking on those treadmills on the stage of Oprah Winfrey's show was probably greater than the entire 3 minutes and 30 seconds of that Jojo Siwa trash music video. That video was dumb, okay? That 30 seconds where Destiny's Child is walking on treadmills built into the stage, so it looks like they're walking in the middle of just in place with fans blowing their air. That 30 seconds was so phenomenal. Well, I got this comment from somebody and they said, oh my God, I cannot find the Destiny's Child performance with the treadmills and I am dying. Okay, so for you out there who left this comment for me, I just want to say, okay, that I went in and I looked. I was like, this has to be out there. It has to be out there somewhere. So I literally put in Destiny's Child Oprah treadmills on YouTube or something like that. And it was the first one that came up. It's Destiny's Child, and it's not Crazy in Love. It's Lose My Breath. Live Oprah Show 2004, okay? And it has 299,000 views on it. At the very end, I don't know if I'm going to include them in here or not. Probably not. You guys can go look at the video. At the very end, you can see they step forward. You can literally see as they go from Beyoncé over to the other two, you can see the treadmills. It's like these rectangles, black rectangles, and you can see them in the ground, okay? And on the show, it's so fantastic, all right? That's called being a creative performer, all right? Falling off the boat and becoming a sea monster from hell, that's not necessarily a performer. So I wanted to make sure that I cleared that up. But anyway, about this Billboard, her hitting the Billboard, Jojo Siwa's new single hits the Billboard charts, and it's not even out yet. I was like, oh my God. And this is from March 29th. So I read that a couple days ago, and I was like, she's on the Billboard charts. Where's she at, girl? Where's she at over there, okay? So I go over here, and I look at the Billboard Hot 100. She's not on there. No, she's not on there at all. So then I'm like looking at it, I'm like, where's she at? I go back and I look at this article, right? And it's like, oh, she's on TikTok's top 50. So I go over to TikTok's top 50, and she's number 40, okay, out of 50. And then when you go in here, she premiered on the TikTok's top 50 at 37. This is the second week. She's already gone down from 37 to 40 on TikTok's top 50, okay? Well, what's interesting about this is that she had a lot of the people that are doing Jojo Siwa's song on TikTok are making fun of it. So a huge marketing factor of her getting famous on TikTok is people making fun of this song. It's not necessarily like the Meghan Trainor song that, you know, I got my Gucci, my Louis, all that, whatever that song was. It's not that. People doing those dances and all that kind of stuff. You know how they do the dances? Charli D'Amelio invented all that or whatever. Those dances that they do on the TikTok, it's not that. It's people making fun of it, okay? She's out in some yard doing it with James Charles. I'm like, girl, seriously? You are doing anything possible to try to bring attention to this song. So now you have, okay, and you have Colleen Ballinger, the biggest scandal of 2023 at your premiere launch party, and you're doing a TikTok with James Charles to your song. Like, you are really wanting to bring negative attention to your song. And this should be very important to us about what Jojo Siwa cares about, okay? Jojo Siwa doesn't care about the credibility. She doesn't care really about reinventing herself, because I think, like Adam McIntyre said, the reason she's reinventing herself is because there's so much scandal coming out about her and her mom and this television show they did and the treatment of the contestants on that show. And so she comes out with this song, and she knows that people are going to say she stole this song. I think it was deliberately put out that, because if you notice, the song was out for like 2 or 3 days. Then people noticed that this Britt Smith had recorded this song in 2012. Well, the song was sold to we're going to get to this in just a second. The song was sold to Jojo Siwa, okay? She didn't steal the song. It was sold to her. It's basically, she doesn't say that, but that's what happened, right? But it was like 2 or 3 days after it came out that people found this Britt Smith song. Nobody was looking for it. Somebody put that out. And I have to believe it was Jojo Siwa's camp that put that out to bring attention to it. So people would say, Jojo Siwa stole this song. So then it would start that whole, this is how it has worked for years and years and years. I used to talk about this way back in the day, in the 40s, with Luella Parson and all this kind of stuff, and they would go to the movie parties, and they would see somebody kissing in the corner, and those two people were the co-stars at a movie. I read books about it. I used to follow this. There's been TV shows done about it. All those people back in the day, right? And then they would write it up on their magazines, and people would want to go see those movies, okay? So if people are thinking that Jojo Siwa stole this song from this Britt Smith, okay, they're going to go listen to Britt Smith's song, and then they're going to go listen to Karma to see if the similarity is it, or if there's similarities in it, and it's going to boost the ratings of both of those songs. That's when it's going to happen. The story was put out there. It was planted. We see, listen, if you're anybody that watches The Real Housewives of any franchise, you know they plant stories left and right, okay? It is such a PR move to plant stories. And as somebody that has been doing drama for 7.5 years, girl, this story is so old this time. I have had so many influencers reach out to me trying to plant stories, okay? Hell, Jeffree Star back in the day be like, are you really going to let so-and-so get away with this? And blah, 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 texting me things that James Charles had tweeted out literally 30 seconds before, want me to make a video about it. Yes, they plant stories all the time, okay? They want people to talk about them. They want people to do this kind of stuff, right? So I believe that Jojo Siwa planted the story of Britt Smith stealing that song, because nobody was looking for it. Because the honest to God's truth was, nobody really cared, okay? And I'll be honest with you, as far as her stealing the song or not stealing the song, I don't really care, because the song sucks. It's a horrible song. It's not a good song. I listened to it with Britt Smith. It was a good song in 2012, for 2012. You know, was it Britney Spears? I mean, no. I think it was a fantastic song. Congratulations on writing it. It's whatever. I don't, the song is, it's whatever, but it sounds dated today. And Jojo Siwa was like, yeah, I heard it, and so I had to do it, and blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff, right? So when they're coming out, and it's yet again PR saying that she's made the top, the Billboard Hot charts before the songs even come out. No, she made the top 50 on TikTok, and she didn't even make. It's not like she made top 10. It's not like she made top 20. Okay, now listen, I've been to a lot of pageants in my life. I've been to a lot of pageants in my life. Okay, if you were 40th at Miss America, you would not be happy, trust me, okay? That's bottom 10. You would not, bottom 12. You would not be happy. If somebody told you that you are one of the biggest stars in the world, okay? You are one of the biggest stars in the world, you know? And you come on a platform where Jojo Siwa, any song she should release or would release should be, if there's dances to it and things like that, that song should be in the top 5 or 10, okay, of the TikTok Billboard. That should be a given. We shouldn't be applauding that, okay? I mean, let's just look at this for a second, okay? I'm going to go into Jojo Siwa's Instagram. How many followers does Miss Jojo Siwa have? Oh, well, Thumbelina, the squirrel, she's got 605,000 followers. I love her so much. Okay. Jojo Siwa, she got 11 million followers, okay, on Instagram. Not to mention TikTok, YouTube, on and on, YouTube Music, all this kind of stuff, right? So Jojo Siwa, who's going on every podcast in the world, she's marketing the hell out of a song. The best you could do is 40th girl, 37, and then you fell to 40 within a week. That was the best you could do. No, girl, your marketing did not work. You should have called Peter Monn, is what you should have done. You said, Peter Monn, could you come up? That idea that I came up with was 2 seconds, okay? If you gave me 2 hours, okay, I could come up with some phenomenal reinvention for Jojo Siwa, you know? First of all, I'm not really, to be honest with you, a big person like in reinventing yourself. I'm a big person in finding who you truly are and exposing that part of yourself to who you really are and being vulnerable enough to show that, you know? And really show who you are in a vulnerable way. I think that's more relatable than throwing up some zip up the back, ice capades, sea monster, sea monkeys from hell from Fraggle Rock outfit and be doing a dance routine on a beach. I don't think that's relatable to anybody. I think it's more relatable to be really vulnerable and break down your vulnerabilities and get on camera and not all this like, all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's relatable. I think that's like a 15-year-old that got to go out for the first time on a Friday night. And what that really shows us is that 21 years old, Jojo Siwa is somebody that has actually been really, really sheltered. I don't know that she really even knows what the term bad is. I don't know why she is so attracted to being bad. I mean, she's attracted to bad people because she surrounds herself and defends those people. But I don't really know why it's so attractive to her to be bad, right? Like, I mean, you want to talk about a transformation from good to bad. Can we talk about the movie Grease for a second with Olivia Newton-John? I mean, that was a fucking transformation, okay? Jojo Siwa, maybe that was what you needed to go for a little bit more. And that was called vulnerable and subtle, all right? But no, you went all the way in from trying to look like a velociraptor from Jurassic Park on ice, okay? And I am not clear about it whatsoever, but it didn't work for you because the song sucks and the performance sucks. And when you're talking about you're coming up with a new genre of music, no, what you're talking about is you're performing a genre of music that's been around for a long time. You're not reinventing anything whatsoever, right? And I have to say, actually, like, I saw this picture that she posted up here, okay, on her thing, and it says, it's official Jojo Siwa Karma. This picture right here, which is like, I mean, this is such a beautiful picture of her. I mean, she's a beautiful young lady, right? This is such a beautiful picture of her. To then, like, she goes in here and she shows, here it is, and, you know, she's doing, I mean, it's the same, she's showing these dance routines. It's the same dance stuff that you've been doing for years and years and years, and she's explaining it. And the thing is that in all these interviews that she does, when all these podcasts, you see her, and she's like, and they're like, so now what are you doing? And she's like, yeah, like, it's like I said to my producers, like, they said, what do you want to do? And she's like, I want to come up with, like, a new genre of music. Gay pop. It's like, she's so sure of herself. She's had all these people around her entire life being like, yes, Jojo, that's a really good idea. Sometimes people that really help you are people that will tell you that your idea is actually fucked up. And it's not really that good of an idea. Maybe you weren't that original to come up with, right? Why are you needing to reinvent this? I don't know. I am like, real, you know, okay, I watch What Happens Live all the time with Andy Cohen, and recently he had Julia Roberts on there. And, you know, Julia Roberts is somebody that, you know, Oscar winner, I mean, huge actress, right? And he's asking her all these questions, and he asks her, what's your favorite movie, right? Or that you've ever been in, like fan questions or read it. And said something about, like, what's your favorite movie that you've ever been in? And she's like, no, I'm not willing to answer that question. And he's like, why not? And she's like, because if I say what my favorite movie is, then that will affect people, what their favorite movie of mine is, and I don't want to affect that and whatever. It's also where she reinvents, love that word. Now, where she acts out the part of Sutton Strack on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she goes, name them, name them. But Julia Roberts is so humble and so vulnerable in that whole interview, and so just herself, and so classy. That is relatable. That is attractive. This in your face, you are not Gene Simmons from Kiss, okay? The reason why you are not Gene Simmons from Kiss is because there is only one Gene Simmons from Kiss, okay? And you're not him, right? Be you, Jojo. Be you. And the thing that's so sad about it for me is that what got her being her was this vulnerability that I'm going to wear this ridiculous bow and love it and be this outrageous Jojo Siwa with these sequins and all this kind of stuff. She lost herself along the way. Jojo Siwa, she lost herself along the way. And so for me, the reinvention would be about her finding herself. But really what it is her idea of what an adult version of Jojo, Bo Jojo, Popo Joe, Bobo Joe, I don't know, that Jojo with the bow, what an adult version of that looks like, which is an ice capade from Fraggle Rock, I guess. This is going to stop, hold on a second. So that's what we're seeing, right? We're not really seeing her going through this, I lost myself and now I'm going to find myself. That's what she doesn't get about people like Miley Cyrus, Lady Gaga, all these people, right? That's what she doesn't understand, is the cathartic process of art. The reason she doesn't understand that is because she's not an artist, okay? She never really has been. So she doesn't understand the cathartic process of anything artistic whatsoever, that you work through whatever you're going through the pain. So it's not necessarily like, this is the image that I want to be, I'm going to reinvent myself to that, you know? I'm gonna be that. When you go back, even like with Madonna from years ago, who reinvented herself every 5 minutes, right? Every one of those reinventions seemed authentic at the time to whatever Madonna was going through. You know, so what it seems to me is that JoJo wanted to change her image for what reason? Is it because Adam McIntyre said this whole thing is a deflection tactic over all this stuff that she's getting? Is it that she needed to distance herself from this child beau kind of thing? Whatever. What is she going through in her life? That would have been that's what I would tap into her and say, you need to share that with the world, JoJo. That's what we saw from Miley Cyrus, okay? If you guys remember the reinvention of Miley Cyrus, not all of those moments made a lot of sense, okay? There were alien cats from hell and getting, you know, I mean, it was trippy, all right? It didn't make a lot of sense, but what came out on the other side was amazing, right? Miley Cyrus shared her cathartic process with us. She was vulnerable enough to do that. A lot of musicians do that. Lady Gaga has done that through the years, okay? But what Jojo Siwa is doing is she's seeing a picture of what she wants to be like, okay? And she's emulating that. It's an emulation. It's performance. She's a performer. She's not an artist, which, I mean, well, a performer is an artist, but she's not bringing her own into it. She's not bringing her own artistic integrity into it. And I think that's the one thing that's always been missing from her. In all honesty, the most true and authentic that JoJo has ever been is when you see back, and I watched every episode of Dance Moms back in the day, when you would have watched, you know, Dance Moms, and you would see JoJo standing there, and Abby Lee Miller would be so cruel to her, and the other girls would, and you'd see little cute JoJo with this bow to her side, and just trying to be the best version of herself that she could be for everybody. That's what made her lovable. That's what made her relatable, right? I don't think she's lost that. And I think that's what makes me sad about this is she's trying to be somebody that she obviously isn't. I don't, you know, I noticed moments, like even when you watch the Howie Mandel podcast interview, when she's asked about Colleen Ballinger and she says, see, the thing is, when you take a lie and you run with it, there are moments when you listen to Jojo Siwa in interviews, and I've watched several interviews with her, when you listen to them, that there are moments where you feel like you're listening to Jojo Siwa, and then there are moments where you listen and you're getting an affected version of Jojo Siwa. I've said this for years with a lot of people that I've watched, because I've had phone conversations with these people on the phone. Shane Dawson in person is not Shane Dawson who you see on video, period, end of story. I've never seen the real Shane Dawson on video, ever. You get a character. You're always getting an affected version. Jeffree Star, I have never not heard that affected version of him. He is always on, okay? He's always acting. It's always a character. Very few people through the years have been like that. In all honesty, one of the people back in the day, I mean, Trisha Paytas was somebody that was very, very real when I met with her in person. I think that's why she's able to spot it a little bit. Is she's able to see it, right? That she can turn the character on and she can turn the character off. She's able to do that. I think that's why often people, you know, and rightfully so, because of things in her past, are so critical of Trisha, because I think there are moments that Trisha is very, very vulnerable and authentic, and there are moments that she's a character, and people don't really know what the difference is. When you watch Jojo Siwa in her interviews, you can tell, okay, when she's turning on the character and when she's just Jojo Siwa. These moments that you see her at her premiere and she's like, yeah, I'm bad, I'm bad. That is a character, okay? If Jojo Siwa were willing to tap in to her humble, vulnerable, relatable self, okay, and protect that child that was standing there getting yelled at by Abby Lee Miller with this sweet look on her face, it just looked like, oh my God, all I want to do is make you happy, this little bow, okay, and that was what was so lovable and relatable about her, and work through that pain and share that pain with the world through dance or music or writing or however she wants to do it. That would be the reinvention of the world, okay? That was why the other day in my video, I just kind of threw it out there and said, if you did a song and said, fuck your pyramid, okay? or where's Maddie Ziegler now, that would get the world's attention, because that would be showing the world that I'm actually working through my pain, because those things hurt me, all right? When we talk about foundation years of childhood, she lived it in real time on reality TV. She's not willing to do that. She's not willing to go to those places. She wants to tell you that she's bad. When somebody tells you that they're bad, Joan Jett was fucking bad, okay? Joan Jett was fucking bad. She'd tell you she was bad and she'd show you she was bad, okay? But she didn't even have to tell you she was bad. You know, in the first 5 chords of, you know, I love rock and roll, you know in the first couple chords of that song, she's fucking bad. You know that, okay? She don't need to tell you. Joan Jett never told anybody. Well, I think she told them in her lyrics, but she never sat down in an interview and said, yeah, I'm bad. I'm gonna be a bad, somebody's gonna find it. In 1979, Joan Jett said she was bad at interview. You just knew she was, okay? The Runaways, you just knew. When you heard a version of Cherry Bomb, you just knew they were bad, okay? You didn't need to sit there and have Stevie Nicks tell you how cool she was to know that Stevie Nicks spinning on stage, okay, with a shawl and a tambourine, she just was fucking cool. You know why? Because she was Stevie fucking Nicks. She wasn't trying to be Stevie fucking Nicks that was cool or Stevie fucking Nicks that was bad. She just was being Stevie Nicks. If Jojo Siwa would tap in to Jojo Siwa and who she really is and share that with the world, that would be bad. That would be awesome. That would be cool. If she would stop making apologies for really problematic people, that would be a really cool move, okay? If she would actually come out and take a stand against some people, you know, and we make a lot of excuses for Jojo Siwa. We really do, you know? But like, as far as like who wrote this song, because this is the biggest deal in the entire world, I don't give a shit who wrote that song. That song sucks, okay? It sucks. The song sucks. Sorry. Sorry if you wrote the song, you didn't write the song, you sang the song, whoever wrote the song, okay? But did she steal the song, okay? She didn't steal the song, but she did say that she wanted to go on and she wanted to reinvent or invent this new genre of music called gay pop. She then goes on to define gay pop as it's not giving you Katy Perry, California Girls, it's giving Lady Gaga, Judas, okay? And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking as I'm watching this, as somebody that spent many years in gay bars, okay? And I'm thinking to myself, has Jojo Siwa ever been to a gay bar? Has she? I mean, not Hamburger Mary's where you go see a show with the RuPaul Drag Race girls. That's not like a real gay bar. I'm talking about a gay bar, okay? Like where, you know, it's like the lights are dimming at 3 a.m. and you want to get out of there because you don't want to be the one person when the lights come up that look bad. I'm talking about that kind of gay bar, okay? I'm talking about the gay bar, you know, that, you know, are downtown Indianapolis, Dayton, Ohio, on the, you know, Ocean Drive, Miami, Florida. I'm talking about those kind of gay bars, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, they are playing Katy Perry as just as much as they are playing Lady Gaga, okay? They're playing California Girls just as much as they're playing Judas when those songs were popular 5 or 6 years ago. And that's part of the problem with this is she's picking a song that originally came out with 2012, right? And then she's talking about 2 songs. She's talking about gay pop and defining it as it's not so much Katy Perry, California Girls. Did that song come out like 10 years ago or something? Maybe longer than that? 15 years ago, it's more Lady Gaga, Judas, okay? And I'm like, and that song came out like 15 years ago too, girl. So your musical taste, which is totally fine, right, are from like so long ago. But if that's the case, then say, I want to be the reinvention of these people meeting in the middle. That's what I want to do, right? Like, I don't think she even knows what she's talking about. When you listen to her, she seems to have no idea, right? So someone else wrote this song and she bought it. Okay, then don't act like you invented this genre of music that you didn't invent, okay? You're talking about the performance. You're talking about the performance of the song. You're not talking about the writing of the song, the lyricism of the song. You're not even talking about the beats of the song. You didn't even do those. You had people in a studio. I saw that TikTok, okay, of the person recording you. You literally went into a sound stage and you recorded your voice and they sound edited it, okay, to match the track. That's what you did. Anybody can do that. Anybody can hire. This does not make you a rock star. It doesn't make you a singer of the world. You literally went into a studio. You hired somebody. I saw the TikTok of the woman talking to you, okay? You're screaming into a microphone. You literally went into a sound studio. You recorded the tracks that were on in front of you, okay? And you sang it. We saw the same thing with Sheena Shea, okay? In Vanderpump Rules. Doesn't make her Britney Spears. Let's just call it for what it is, okay? If you watch Vanderpump Rules, all those girls have done it on there. It doesn't make you Britney Spears. You literally rented out a sound studio and you had somebody, a vocals coach, come in there and tell you how to do that, and then they edited it down your vocals to match the tracks. That's literally what you did, okay? That doesn't make you reinventing music or being a singer-songwriter at all, okay? I have mad respect for singer-songwriters. You are not that. You want to be that? Then be that, okay? And share that with the world, but that's not who you are, okay? So, I wanted to go in here and I read this article, hold on a second, from, I think there's a bunch of them out there, TMZ, but I don't respect TMZ anymore. I think they get it wrong every single time because I think, well, in all honesty, I think that TMZ's got, you know, they did, one article about Colleen Ballinger, so they never mention her. So Colleen Ballinger's got people that are on the inside at TMZ. Other people have people on the inside at TMZ. They pick and choose what they want to talk about over there, so I don't think that they report correctly at TMZ, so I don't respect TMZ. Jojo Siwa addresses claims she stole her new song Karma from Miley Cyrus and Britt Smith. This is from E! News. Jojo Siwa shut down speculations that she stole her new song Karma from singers Miley Cyrus and Britt Smith, saying there's no such thing as stealing when it comes to music. Jojo Siwa is setting the record straight. The Dance Moms alum shut down rumors that she stole her latest single Karma from Miley Cyrus and Britt Smith, who were both rumored to have recorded demo versions of the track in the early 2010s. I did not steal anything, Jojo told TMZ April 12th. There's no such thing as stealing. The 20-year-old went on to acknowledge that the confusion may have arisen over the track's producers, Rock Mafia, who wrote this song years ago and also penned a handful of hits for Disney alums such as Miley's Can't Be Tamed and Ali and AJ's potential breakup song. What happened is people write songs and then they don't do anything with them. Jojo continued, then a few years later it makes sense for another artist. So what you're saying is the song's been sitting over there forever and you decided that you were going to buy the song. Okay, so you sampled a bunch of tracks. They sent you a lot of tracks. This happens a lot of times. Anybody that knows anything about music, anybody that's watched Vanderpump Rules or any reality TV show where they've ever recorded their own music, they get sent a bunch of tracks, they listen to tracks, and they're like, oh, that's the one I like. Actually, if you watch the movie Whitney, he does it with Whitney in there as well. Like, he plays, Clive Davis plays these songs for Whitney, and she picks which one she wants to sing and which one she wants to cover and which one she doesn't. I mean, this is nothing new. Noting that it was an old song, So You Think You Can Dance, Judge added, I was pitched it, I loved it, was obsessed with it, so I grasped onto it. That's a very normal thing. As for the track's age, Jojo, who released Karma on April 5th as part of her new, more mature era, wasn't worried about the track feeling outdated. I knew that it was a special song, she said. I knew that it fit. I knew that it was exactly the vision that I wanted to create for the world. Describing Karma as such a head-turner, Jojo added, Karma makes you listen, Karma makes you ask, Karma makes you confused. So whether people like it or not, marketing plan worked. Now, this is really important what she said right here, okay? Karma makes, it's such a head-turner. First of all, I think the song sucks, okay? I think the video sucks. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think it's a head-turner at all. I think it's a bore-ass. I think it's forgettable, okay? I don't think it's rememberable whatsoever. And then it says it makes you listen. The only reason it makes you listen is because we want to see what's so bad about Jojo Siwa in this video. And the video is demonstration that she's bad and that she's changed. And that's the only reason people are watching this video, okay? Not because it's a good video, not because the song is good, because they want to see if Jojo Siwa has changed. The marketing of Jojo Siwa being bad and coming out and doing this whole Instagram thing where she fed it out for 2 weeks and how changed she is, okay, led to people wanting to watch the video. It led to me wanting to watch the video because I want to see who is this new changed Jojo Siwa that we're going to see. And there was nothing changed about her, okay? That's what led to it. That's what led to us listening. Karma makes you ask, Karma makes you confused. Now, nothing about the song made me ask or made me confused. The only thing it made me ask was, where's bad Jojo Siwa that you keep on claiming? So, whether people like it or not, marketing plan worked, she said. Okay, well, the marketing plan was to reinvent Jojo Siwa as this really bad girl, right? But she really isn't, okay? And then put out this video that everybody was going to watch because they wanted to reinvent Jojo Siwa, or they wanted to see the bad reinvented Jojo Siwa. But it didn't work, okay? It worked for a while because people have gone over there and watched it. But this is the thing, honey, is you're going to be a one-hit wonder. Because it worked with this one song, but it's not going to work with the album, okay? It's not going to work with the rest of the songs because people have already seen it now, and what they know is you haven't changed. You're not bad. This This isn't a different version of you, okay? This was actually a big fail, and anybody that knows anything about marketing or public relations would have told you this was not the song to release as your first one, okay? You should have hinted something out there and let the big bomb come later. You should have let them know something bigger is coming later. You should have done a very subdued look, you sitting in a chair, okay, singing, doing a cover to some song or whatever that was very subtle, that would make people wonder what was coming next. That's what you should have done, okay? You shouldn't have put all your eggs in one basket and released it in this song called Karma and did everything at once. What that says is you really don't believe that you're that talented, okay? You put all your eggs in one basket. You only made it to 37th on the Billboard Tik Tok top charts. You didn't even make it on the top 100, and you're already down to 40, okay? The song is not a banger. It's a bomb is what it is, okay? And I'm sorry to tell you, I hope this wasn't your dream because the dream's not working for you. It makes me sad because I really do think that there is, I mean, you don't get 11 million followers on Instagram and the following that Jojo Siwa has if you don't have some kind of talent, or you don't have some kind of creativity, or you don't have some kind of likability or relatability. She has that, okay? She had it when she was a child, which is why she has all these people following her, right? And she's had it through her YouTube career and other things that she's done. But I think she's afraid she's going to lose it as she ages out. But there's a lot of people that have been famous child stars, famous child singers that have aged out and grown into it. Jodie Foster is a fantastic example of that, okay? And you don't have to shock the world by telling them how bad you are when you really aren't that bad to begin with. I would have really preferred a much more, I don't know, embracing JoJo of, I don't have to prove that I'm bad to anybody because I know who I am and I'm comfortable in my own skin. That would have been a message, okay? You know, I don't understand what this is. I don't know who fed you this lie that you had to go with. As for Brit, she revealed that Karma was supposed to be her first single in 2012. Things changed and I went with Provocative instead. She explained to Page Six in an interview published April 12th, and shouldn't have done that really. We should have gone with Karma. That was my first choice. And noting that the song hasn't seen the light of day until now, she added, I'm just happy that people are hearing it and liking it. To look back on JoJo's career leading up to her new single, Read On, and I prefer not to, but this is what's interesting to me. So it was supposed to be her first single in 2012, but she turned it down. Who is looking for Britt Smith, this version of her song? Who is looking for it? Nobody was looking for it. Nobody was looking for it. Which means that Jojo Siwa's team fed out the story that she stole this. Because that would have actually fed into this whole idea that Jojo Siwa is bad. Plus, she's got all these people that are really problematic surrounding her, right? And that makes her even more bad. Okay, well, girl, if that's what you want to step into, but that's not bad. That's problematic, okay? That's not being, like, bad, like, you know, in the 50s, riding a motorcycle and wearing a leather jacket. It's not that, okay? There's a difference between being bad, which could be cool, and being problematic. I don't think you want to be problematic. You've already touched your toe into that, okay? I don't think you want to be problematic. But JoJo, this is not it, okay? There was a way that you could have reinvented yourself, and you could have really blown the world away. Other people have done it, and this was not the way to do it, okay? So, for me, you wasted the 11 million followers you had, and all this song and dance about this song and how, I mean, this was just a waste is what it was, okay? You could have come out and really dug deep, gone through the cathartic process that real artists go through and sharing their truth with the world, and you could have done that, okay, and shared that with the rest of the world, and you could have become the next version of yourself that you probably already are, that you're scared to show with the world. That vulnerability is priceless. That's the one thing that artists have that nobody else has that makes them so unique from the other person. When people love Beyonce, or people love Lady Gaga, or people love Carly Rae Jepsen, or people love Britt Smith, or people love Miley Cyrus, or people love Jojo Siwa, what they love in them is what they find so unique and different, that inspires them, that it motivates them, that makes them feel confident, that makes them feel good about themselves, they see themselves in some way. That's what we love about artistry and music, okay? That's what we love. This was a fail. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.